central business district for Ado Ekiti, for Ekiti State, and it's to ensure that we develop Ado Ekiti without destroying the traditional setting of the city. So you have what you call the old Ado, then you have the new Ado, and I'm so excited that a lot of developers have been showing interest. Since we opened up that road now, they'll be showing interest in that project, and that stretch will stretch from that place to Ikere. So if you are going to Akure, you are going anywhere, you don't have to pass through Ado, just go through the main road. And because we have the road now is going to be fitted with electricity, it's going to be tolled. We're going to toll it, and new development that can be controlled, will spring up, and it's very close to the airport. Well, the flyover is 1.2 kilometers, and I've read a lot of informed comments on the flyover. That why are we doing flyover? Is that what is needed in the state? Like I said, I work with data, and I was secretary to the state government when that study was commissioned. And the report of the study then was that if we don't act then, that if we wait, it's going to be extremely difficult to move within Ado. They gave us like 3 years, that in 3 years' time, this is the population projection, and it's going to be extremely chaotic. And that is a disincentive for business development itself. But actually did the first phase. So when people are blaming him that he did a flyover leading to nowhere, no. That was the design. But he did it because of I didn't know, maybe because of resource availability. If you look at the Gonfalves Chase flyover, once you drop and you move up, you climb this one. Out of town. So it's definitely capital intensive, but I thank God that we are slowing on, and I thank the president also for his support. We are doing that to also ensure that we create a state capital that is not chaotic, and a state capital, because time is money. People don't know this. Time is money. You just want to reduce gridlock. And there's a limit to what you can do within Ado, the way Ado is now. Because the bridge spans through the central business district. And that is where you have the most terrific traffic in Ekiti State. You have the Central Mosque, you have the Edekasa Market, you have the Palace, you have the Catholic Church, you have everybody, congregating on that place. And you can imagine what that will be in 10 years' time if you don't do this. So it's born out of a study, but most government didn't want to take it on board because of the financial before we end this tenure. I'm excited about what the Congress has turned into, and that was our first attempt at bringing the private sector into a tourist tourism sector, and I'm so happy with what is happening here now. So it was an experiment that has worked, and one thing we have done, that we have created the Bureau of Tourism that's under government's office. Before it was merged with Ministry of Art, Culture and Tourism. So they have a bureau now, they have a DG that is fit and proper, and that is funding from both sides. But what I told the DG to do is, look, don't be too excited. We need a tourism policy in the state. It's the policy that will guide us on what we are going to do, and it's working on that. So once it comes to ESCO and we have that policy, that's where we're going to guide what we are going to do in that sector. But be that as it may, we will partner with private sector because it has worked. It has worked in the Congo's. We partner with private sectors to also ensure that we develop our tourism potential. If you go to the Water Corporation now, you will see that we are building an international center for art and culture. There, it's both art and culture and tourism, and by the time you finish that center, it's going to be one of the best in the country, in the country, and hopefully before the end of the year, it should be up and running. Because apart from the structure that we have there, it's also have to have like 30 rooms hotels. People can come and relax, and ensure that both sectors sit down together, and discuss. And I'm so excited about how the place is turning into. So once we do that and we get a private sector to manage it, it's going to be a meeting point. It's going to provide a meeting point for practitioners in that industry to come, artists, writers, all sorts. They sit down to and discuss. Well, it's private sector driven, and but I'm happy that it's coming to Ekiti State. Also, it speaks to the fact that Ekiti State is now ready for business. I'm aware that the Commissioner for Arts and Culture and Creative Economy is in touch with the vendor that they are weaving it together. But it's not the government. It's not solely a government program, but we support and ensure that it becomes a success. But I'm excited that they are bringing it to Ekiti State, and we give every support to ensure that it's successful. Cannot do all those things without security. We've created access. And last year, Ekiti State was adjudged to be one of the safest states in this country, the safest in the southwest. So once you have security, once you create access, and you have all the raw materials, industry themselves, they will come. You can't force them to come here. And then I share the ease of doing business committee in the state, so we are looking at all our processes to also ensure that it's in line with global best practices. Our airport is opened, and the airport is ready. Test flight is going on the airport. That will create access for investors to come into the state. We are also solving the problem of electricity, which is extremely critical. I've just approved 2 weeks ago the payment of compensation, on the right of way to enable TCN to do the stringing of cables to connect the state to the national grid. Because as we speak today, the state is off national grid. So there are two transmission projects in Ekiti State, one in Lupeju, one in Ijesha-Ashu. But they told us that yes, a federal project, but we have to pay for compensation for right of way. We have approved close to 300 million, close to 400 million to do that. We record that before we design any budget, since we came into office, I go around the state to talk to the people, to ask them that what do they want to see in the budget, and that is to engage with the people, and also go back to them to give them feedback. We do that regularly, and that is the tradition we met on ground. When it comes to transparency and accountability, I'm aware that budgets rated Ekiti State as one of the most transparent states in Nigeria, first quarter of this year, and across board, most rating agencies have attested to the fact that we are running a very transparent and accountable government. Last year, we were second or third in the audit efficacy index in the country, and across all the parameters for transparency, for accountability, and prudency, and I think that Ekiti State has done so well. And these are not things that we did ourselves; they are saying so. So I mean, we don't have a choice other than to be transparent and accountable. Well, I think in fairness, I've been lucky with our people, and I've been in this state for many years, and the kind of support that we are getting and we still have is unprecedented in this state of Ekiti State. And I give God all the glory, and I thank our people for their support, because Ekiti people are very they're appreciative, but they don't also share to speak out their mind if they don't like what we are doing, But since we come into office, it has been a torrent of commendation, administration, and advice from our people, and that at times unsettles me, because it was born out of my belief that the government of any state should serve everybody, and that it's not everything you play politics with. It's a sector that has been neglected because people believe that they don't have voices, they cannot vote. So nobody played their cause. So immediately I won the election, I started searching for someone that can help me handle that sector. And it took a while before I got the president special advisor. And I went to Lagos, I sat down with her, I pleaded with her, and she agreed. And since she came on board, she has changed the face of that sector in the state. We have 3 schools in Ekiti State that cater for people with special needs. The first thing we did is to do a comprehensive renovation of all the structure. And personally, I put that money, my personal money, to buy beds, to buy beddings, to buy mattresses, to buy pillowcases and a bed sheet for them. And I make it an habit of also celebrating my birthday with them. So from the proceeds of my birthday every year, they were able to develop the place, And I'm so grateful also to the MD of Premium Trust Bank, who also joined me in this, and he has adopted a school now that's completely, he has innovated. The therapy center in Ado now, he adopted it, he has innovated it, and then I give them a bus, Central Mandela give them another bus. So the one in Ado attends to those that cannot go to those schools. So every morning, the bus will go around and bring them to the place. We give them 1 meal per day, we attend to them, and you can see the kind of life-changing improvement that is happening across the state. We also ensure we get them employment into government offices. Then those of them that they just did what do they call it now? I release money to support their businesses, to them, and I'm so happy that they are now beginning to see hope. So parents of people with special needs that have been hiding them at home, they're now bringing them out, because God created all of us. But it takes a lot of deliberate conduct from government, to look into that direction. But if you think of election, you think of votes, you will not look into that direction. But if you know that one day God will ask you, that look, these people, what did you do with them? So everybody knows in Ekiti State that I don't joke with them. Whatever concerns them, even my Commissioner of Finance know, any approval that has to do with them, the money must be released. And I'm so excited that we'll be able to do this. And I must thank the Senate leader also, who has agreed to also build a center for them next year in Ado Ekiti, so that, because where we are now is very small, but has agreed to build a center that will accommodate more people. It's going to come with vocational center. They can learn vocations. Then government will give them seed money to start a business. We have an inventory of all of them across the state now. We have their numbers, where they live, and their phone numbers. So we are working with them. And I'm also telling local government chairmen also to replicate that at their respective local governments. Well, opposition is part of politics, and a government without opposition is. Well, I don't need democracy and opposition. You need a very vibrant opposition in a democracy to put you on toes. I have no problem with opposition. I don't have problem with constructive criticisms. Where my issue lies is when you lie, or when you just want to create problems within the polity for political reasons. And that is what I've not seen any constructive criticism of this government, but I've seen political statements, propaganda, lies. But I'm used to that. I didn't get to this office overnight, so I have no problem with that. But